Hello and welcome to a new video. Today I'll be going for a ride. So I was going to go places I don't think I've gone specifically in videos before. So if you live in Louisville, Kentucky, in the Highlands, or in Louisville in general, you've probably been to the Bowman Field driver's license or driver's license testing location, or to Bowman Field, the small airport, which is where I'm at right now. But there is a cycling, running, walking bike path that goes along Taylorsville Road, and then it goes along Cannons Lane, and then it takes you by kind of Seneca Park. So I figured I would go for a ride through that area. And this is a path that actually runs parallel to the road. So it takes you takes you out of traffic. And two, I am riding the Onebot S6L e-bike. It's a folding e-bike that I've had for a little bit. And it's also, out of all the stuff I have, the one that looks the least motorcycle-y or moped-y. You know, it's I don't know how much this is being seen video, but you know, it's a folding bike that if you didn't know it, you might not know it's electric. And I guess it's a class 2 e-bike, although, because it has a throttle, a twist throttle, in addition to pedal assist. But the twist throttle and the pedal assist only go up to 25 kilometers per hour, which is 15 miles per hour. So this bike is not a speedster, and I would venture to guess I will probably never be questioned about riding this bike when I'm out and about compared to the other ones. Because like the Super 73 does kind of look like a mini bike or something, or like an old school motorcycle with no motor, mind you, but it looks like the frame of one. The Segway X260 / Sur-On X, that one, even with the pedals on it and some additional stuff, you know, it still gets some attention. But this bad boy looks like a standard bike. So I could see riding this one around without anybody ever really questioning it or giving a look or being upset. Or, on the flip side, not having some kid run out in their front yard and yell, "You're cheating," which is pretty common on e-bikes. It's quite common for to be in the middle of a ride, to have a kid run up and then yell, "You're cheating," because you're on an e-bike and you're not pedaling. Now, what you're cheating at, I don't know. If you're not in some type of race or competition. But I think this bike would probably be good for like a commuter. Like if, you know, because the battery, I've tested it before range. It gets well over 20 miles of range. You'll add some mixture of the different pedal assist modes and some just manual pedaling with no assist. But you should easily be able to get over 20 miles. So if you have, you know, a 10-mile commute or so, you could probably take this bike with that much problem. And you'd probably even be able to fold it up and store it at the office or wherever your business or your work, because it's a folding bike, so it can fold up pretty small and not take up a ton of space. So I'll cut through the driver's licensing bureau. If you keep following the path straight, it'll just keep going, and then you turn left at the intersection of Cannons Lane and Dutchman's. But this is the driver's licensing regional office. So again, if you've ever had to come here, it's always interesting riding by when you don't have to get a license or do anything special. And there's always people queued up after hours to practice parallel parking at the facility. Which there were, as I just went by, there was a number of people. It just depends on when you're there, how many people there are. But yeah, so that's the driver's licensing bureau on Bowman Field. So the path, like I said, just keeps going down. That'd be Dutchman's Lane until it intersects with Cannons. I'll just cut through here versus going all the way back out. And once you get to Cannons Lane, it'll take you, like I said, cars. It'll take you parallel to Cannons Lane, and then take you to like Old Cannons Lane and stuff. Basically, they built a bypass recently that allows you to bypass the interstate. Because before you would have to just go down Cannons Lane. You have to go down Cannons Lane all the way, as it kind of gets into St. Matthews and Lexington Road. And I personally am not a fan of riding a bicycle on the road when the speed limit is more than 25, unless it's for short spurts. I absolutely have to when there's no bike lane, because people are very unaccommodating and upset typically, and will do a lot of unsafe passing. So I usually try to find any bike paths or side streets I can take to avoid that, or to minimize having to do that. There are a lot of people that do go on the road on their bikes. Which again, if you're comfortable doing that, more power to you. It's just in cars, people get upset enough if you're not doing 10 miles over the speed limit, much less if you're on a bike doing 15 or 20. Yeah, so straight ahead, this is Cannons Lane. I'm going to turn left here onto the bike path. Yeah, so this is going alongside Cannons Lane. Then up ahead are the ramps to get on to Interstate 64 going east or west. As you can see, the road does not look like it would be all that accommodating to cyclists. Spoiler alert, it's not. But beyond, talking about vehicular traffic, I've had some close calls on these paths with other cyclists. Should be going along at a decent clip, decent pace. Right now I'm doing about 15 miles per hour. And then a couple, 1, 2, 3 people all trying to pass you, going at a very high rate of speed without doing any type of audio cue that that's going to happen. And, if it's road bikes with the tiny, thin tires, you can't really hear it until it's right up on you. So if you just happen to stray a little bit to the left because you don't want to run over glass or something, you can almost get ran into. Yeah, so this is Bowman Field Airport. Again, like I said, this is how you can do, this is the little bypass when you're on foot or on a bike or something, where instead of having to go down the main road and have to deal with the people getting on the expressway, you can go through this way. You can go through the backside of the airport, and it'll take you out to some neighborhoods around here. And then this brings you out to the area that's not all that far from Seneca Park. It's technically part of like St. Matthews, I think. And it's not that far from like Frankfort Avenue. And they have signs around here at some point that say no motorized vehicles, which I don't think technically includes e-bikes, but that would mean don't bring your four-wheeler, you know, your gas-powered vehicles like your four-wheeler, your dirt bike, motorcycles, gators, side-by-sides, all that fun stuff. It's technically not allowed through here, and depending, you know, like if it's something big like a four-wheeler or a side-by-side or a golf cart or something, there may not really be the space in some parts of the path to easily get through. So that's also part of the reason why they would do that. Yeah, so this is has signs if you want to go to Seneca Park. So I'm going to go down here by this bridge, or this overpass. Because this is where Interstate 64 passes over. This bike's going pretty fast compared to what it normally does. Car. Okay, luckily the car saw me. And then back to the left, over to the left in these woods, there are hiking and mountain bike trails. I think they're doing some renovation on some of them. So they may not be completely available to use all of them at this point in time, but they are there. And I guess I'll just go ahead and finish this off at Seneca Park because it's not too much further ahead. Yeah, these are cool neighborhoods. They have a mix of newer and older homes. I've seen a lot of Ford Mustang Mach-E's recently in this area of town. I wonder if that's overtaken the Tesla's, the preferred EV for people around here. Yeah, so I'm on Old Cannons Lane. If you keep following it straight, it'll go to New Cannons Lane, but I don't want to go to the main road. I will say that, you know, a smaller bike like this gets less attention from people passing by because it looks more like a standard bike that they really wouldn't think twice about compared to something that's a little bit flashier, that looks a little bit more of a moto style. And this also, you know, compared to the other bikes I take on long distance rides and go really far, this really isn't for that. I mean, it has enough range that you could go on a 10 plus mile ride, you know, one way, 20 mile round trip. But just, you know, I don't really think this is made for that. This is more of a city commuting bike that you could fold up to fit in somebody's trunk. So this is something where, you know, if you work in a busy downtown area that would take a long time to get to your, you know, your place of work, but there is parking on the outskirts of the city, you can load this bad boy up in your car, truck, SUV, what have you, park on the outskirts, pop it out, unfold it, hop on it, and if there's bike lanes, use those to get to work and shave a lot of time off if you're, you know, sitting in traffic for 30 minutes to go 2 miles or something. So that's one use case I could see for this that I think makes a lot of sense. It's also fun just to go for kind of, you know, medium distance rides on this. Like, I wouldn't take this on the long distance rides going off-road, because this is really a street / city model. They do offer a mountain bike style folding bike that would probably be good for that kind of stuff, but it does have, like on the rear, it has a small shock, and it's a pretty comfortable ride. It's just, you know, this bike is not a speedster that you're going to be hitting 20 miles per hour plus speeds on this sustained pace. If you're wanting a, you know, car replacement, I think this is a really good, like, point-to-point bike. Now, I had a folding bike years ago that was non-electric. I used to ride a lot, and I used to like it because I could just throw it in the back of the car, drive to a far-off park, take it out, unfold it. Don't have to have, you know, bike racks in your car or anything special to transport it. You can fit it in the back seat or the trunk or the hatch or the bed of most vehicles. So that's a benefit. You can take this out somewhere. And if you're considering, you know, between like this and an electric scooter, this, I think, is a little bit more natural riding position than a scooter. Probably a little bit safer, because I've taken a spill on a scooter when I wasn't doing anything extreme. So this is more of a natural bike thing, and you can actually get exercise. I mean, you can turn it on the top pedal assist level 3 and use the throttle and not do a lot. But, you know, you can also, you know, turn the pedal assist off and do the work yourself and get some exercise. I guess I'll actually end this at the park, the basketball goal up here. But it's a February day. February 6th, I believe. Temperatures in mid 50-degree range. It's one of those pretty nice days you get towards the end of winter. Yeah, so that was taking this Onebot S6L bike around Dutchman's around the Bowman Field licensing place in Bowman Field, and then taking it down Cannons Lane, and then getting over here to Seneca Park. And I may have messed up what was Cannons Lane versus Dutchman's, but Cannons Lane is the faster road that connects to the expressway, and Dutchman's is the road that I turned on to. So yeah. So I was taking the Onebot S6L for a ride. And until next time.